For today's Schuster Showdown, and Senator Jim Bunning's refusal to back down when it comes to extending unemployment benefits and funding for federal highway projects. Bunning's Senate office says that phones are ringing off the hook with people who support his stand and those who don't. Today on the floor of the Senate, Bunning had to defend his position again, this time against some in his own party.
I ask unanimous consent that the Senate proceed to the immediate consideration of H.R. 4691.
These long lines of people who are out of work is not an emergency, is what he believes. I believe they are. And I think it's terribly inappropriate that this filibuster is being conducted. He's made his stand. I think it's wrong, as does the American people, as does, I'm sure, the people of Kentucky.
Bunning wasted no time firing right back at his detractors, claiming he is not engaged in a filibuster.
I have the same right as any other senator here on the floor. And it's not a filibuster when you object. And that ought to be brought out clearly.
Time for the showdown. Peter Slutsky is a liberal blogger with DoubleSpeak.com. J.P. Frere is associate editor at the Washington Examiner. Peter, Senator Bunning said that there are a number of ways that Senator Reid could move this forward if he wants to. So on that particular point, he's right, isn't he?
Well, procedurally, he could be right in some sense of the word, but the optics of this and the politics of this is really damning. And, you know, for the life of me, I can't understand why Senator Bunning, and I can't understand why the Republican Party isn't pressing him to end this objection and move forward to help the nearly 1 million people who are looking for unemployment benefits, including 14,000 that are in his own home state. It just doesn't make much sense to me.
JP, how about it?
I don't think that there's anything wrong with what Senator Bunning is doing. First of all, he's not filibustering. He's objecting to a unanimous consent agreement, and he's not part of the unanimous group of people that consents. And that's his right as a senator. But more importantly, in a time when we're discussing deficits and how government spending is out of control, Senator showing some common sense and saying, isn't there some other way we can pay for all of these benefits? Trying to respect a Democrat-passed rule about being able to pay for things that they pass.
That's a great point. The problem is that Senator Bunning never seemed to care about deficits before, and the issue is
it doesn't matter right now.
It doesn't matter. But the issue is, that a lot of people who are depending on those unemployment benefits would declare this an emergency. Here's what House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer said about what Senator Bunning is doing. Quote, 100,000 workers lost employment benefits immediately. 400,000 will lose benefits within 1 to 2 weeks, and it increases to 1.5 million in the month of March. If we can't get this done, and 3 million after that, so one senator is impacting the lives of hundreds of thousands and perhaps millions. On that point, is this worth making a philosophical argument about the deficit?
Absolutely. In fact, there's actually a way that they can solve this problem without adding to the deficit, which is using a portion of the unused stimulus funds, $787 billion, and putting it towards this. That's all they have to do. But they don't want to do that because they'd much rather continue spending and pulling more taxpayer money in, and it's not necessary.
Peter?
With all due respect, the hypocrisy here is just stunning. Senator Bunning, the Republican Party, for years and years, just spent and spent and spent and passed tax cuts for the rich and so forth.
So your solution is to spend more.
Comes a moment where we need this money to help unemployed people, to help doctors get reimbursed, to help with road programs and infrastructure. He's voting against it. He's obstructioning. So, you know, I think that it's just pure hypocrisy.
JP, as far as the politics, never mind the whole philosophical issue,
right.
Given that a number of Republicans asked Senator Collins to make that statement on their behalf today, there must be a lot of Republicans acknowledge this is not good politically in terms of the optics.
Well, I'd say that when you have the Tea Party movement looking like a viable movement that can affect votes, and their primary concern is government spending, it might not be a bad idea for the senator from Kentucky to ensure that the Senate maintains some semblance of fiscal propriety.
Except that he hasn't done it before. That's the issue.
Republican primary.
JP, well, and the other thing is, I mean, look, Senator Bunning's not running for re-election, so clearly, I mean, he can do whatever he wants and not pay a political price. But in any case, J.P. Frere and Peter Slutsky, great conversation today. Thanks for being part of the Schuster Showdown. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.